In this video, we will be covering the new LS EVCI service tool, which covers the LS engine, the power shuttle systems, the VCM, and the cluster. Once inside the cab, turn the ignition key on. Remove the access cover above your right shoulder and plug in the communication adapter. In order to access the OBD2 port on the XU and MT4 tractor, you will need to remove this panel. Start by removing the 3 thumb screws. Once the screws are removed, remove the panel. You will then be able to connect the OBD2 connector into the tractor in this location. To access the diagnostic port on the XR and MT3 premium model tractors, you will first need to remove 1 screw from the right side and 2 Phillips head screws from the left side. This panel will then lift up and out, allowing access to the OBD2 port on the bottom right-hand corner. Exit the cab and place your laptop in a suitable location. Connect the communication box to the laptop using the USB. Launch the EVCI service tool. Choose Diagnosis Mode, select Engine, and LS. Once you get to this screen, this will show any present or history DTC codes. You will be able to select those codes. A box will populate on the bottom side of the screen for freeze frame data. You can then choose that screen and click the Help button for troubleshooting codes. A second option will be able to choose the All DTC icon at the bottom right of the screen, and this will populate every DTC available for the LS engine. You can then choose any DTC from this listing by clicking, and then this will bring up your fault code troubleshooting guide. It will include any lamps that may be active, the faults, the causes, and influences on the vehicle. Further down, you will find any electrical schematics or parts drawings needed for reference for the code chosen. Further down, you will find a step-by-step checklist on how to properly trace and diagnose the selected code. Once you go back to the main menu for the DTC analysis, you can choose Clear DTC. Choose to clear once you read your conditions. You will then be prompted to let you know that the DTC operation has been completed. All codes should then be removed unless still active and the repair has not been completed. The next screen will be data analysis. In this screen, you will find group selections for all different parameter readings read by the ECU. You can break it down in specific groups, or you can choose the All button and see every available parameter reading within the ECU. Within here, you will see different values for different sensors, different switch positions, and pressure readings. You can also click Change Unit, and this will allow you to change the readings of the values. Typically, I leave these in default position because they will read the same as our service manuals and information within the system. You can also record the data while test driving or testing repairs. Once complete, you will simply click Record Stop, and then you can save this to a file for later use. Once back to the group selection, you can then choose random groups to view information, such as for the after-treatment system, you would go to CDPF, and when you would be able to see your temperature readouts and pressures. You could choose IMV, rail, and injection to see data associated with the common rail system. And again, you can always choose to record this data if needed. The next screen option that we have is actuation test. Within the actuation test screen, you will be able to manually turn on and off the ACV, EGR, glow plug relay, IMV buzzing, starter relay, fuel heater relay, and injector buzzing. You simply choose the test you would like to run, read your conditions, which in this case is ignition on, engine stop. System is ready. We will then click Start. The operation is now complete when you received the test finished notification. You can then click Stop, and now we can run a separate test if we wish to at this time. For instance, if we want to do injector buzzing, again, we read our conditions, ignition on, engine stop, choose Start. Once the test is completed, we will then choose Stop, and we can go back and run another test now if we wish to do so. In the system identification screen, you will find information regarding the engine serial, ECU serial, your software ID, and the last flash of the ECU. You will also find down towards the bottom your injector codes. These numbers will need to be changed during injector replacement. Our next screen is Special Function. Within this screen, you will find your different engine data parameters. Just like in the old service tool, you will be able to choose one of these data sets. And in here, you will be shown location of sensors and the readings associated with those specific sensors. In this screen, you will also find your different tests, which include the run-up test, the shut-off test, compression test, hydraulic test, IMV test, common rail test, power balance test, injector test under starter, injector test under running, pump air purge, ECU replacement, C3I injector replacement, reset EGR, reset ACV, reset IMV, reset AMF, reset cam and crank sensor, reset CDPF, reset injector, reset MDP, engine serial, and DPF regeneration at idle. You will also find the C3I injector replacement. You will choose OK, and in here you will be able to remove and replace injector coding numbers during injector replacement. Once the code is entered, you will simply choose Write, and you will be prompted through on how to save the code to the ECU. Once completed, you will be able to leave this screen. Another test that you will see commonly used will be your CDPF reset. Simply click this tab, and this will allow you to clear the DPF soot load to remove the engine from derate. You set ignition switch off and on, OK, continue. The operation will then run through its course. Once you receive the complete notification, choose OK, and your soot load has now been reset. You will then be able to access any of the other tests, including a regeneration cycle, which is recommended after a CDPF reset. When your conditions are met, run your regen cycle. You can monitor your temps and important data in the top right screen. The next option will be DTC reporting. Once this report is created, you will be able to see all important information regarding the ECU and the tractor, along with a list of any DTCs that may be active or history. This report is great for sending to your service manager for additional help in troubleshooting. You can choose to print this screen or have the option to save it to your laptop for later use. Your next screen is Data Report. Once this file is created, you will be able to again see important information regarding the ECU and the tractor. And it will also contain information regarding the life history of this tractor, different cycle counts, parameter readings, and other valuable information. You can choose to print this report or save to file for later use. The next screen is Engine Test Help, and in this screen you will be able to select the different tests available for the LS engine, and it will define what the test does and how to read the results. You can simply click on any of the corresponding tests. A screen will then populate to show you the objective and how to properly read your test results. You can simply click the home icon at the top right of the page to return back to the main menu. And this concludes the diagnosis section for the LS engine. To diagnose the power shuttle system, you will choose ETC system, then PSS. Once connected, you will be brought to the DTC analysis screen, where you will see any history and active DTCs within the tractor. You have the availability in this screen to choose all DTC help in the bottom right-hand corner, and this will populate a screen showing you all DTCs for the power shuttle system. You can then choose any of the codes that you are trying to troubleshoot, and this will launch the troubleshooting tree associated with that code. It'll show you the S and F code, failure and root cause, effect on vehicle, and the checklist for the troubleshooting diagnostics. Further down, you will find any parts breakdowns or electrical diagrams that may be associated with the particular DTC. You can then choose to clear your DTCs, meet your conditions of ignition on, engine off, clear. Once you get complete, hit OK. And now all repaired DTCs will now be cleared. The next screen is Data Analysis. Within this screen, you will find group selections of different parameters. You can choose all to see all parameters within the power shuttle system. You can choose to record these by choosing Record during test drive operations. Once completed, you simply click Record Stop. Then you can save this file for later use. The next screen is actuation tests, which are not supported on the power shuttle system. Next, we will find system identification. Within this screen, you will find the model, version, and location, which will always be the domestic USA market. The next screen is special function. Within this screen, you will find your manual forward and reverse calibration. In this screen, you will be able to manually adjust fill rates, driving pressures, clutch pedal limits, and shift response levels. To write these information, you simply click the corresponding button, and it will write the information to the ECU. The next option is the auto forward and reverse pressure calibration. Here you will be given a list of conditions that must be met in order to successfully run the test. Once the conditions are met, you will choose OK, and then you will carry out the procedure as you normally would with the older yellow service tool. You can also choose to do a clutch pedal low limit to set the clutch pedal adjustment. Next, you have DTC report. Here you will find a list of any active and history DTCs associated with the Power Shuttle system. You will be able to print or save to a file for later use. Next is data reports. Within here you will see important information regarding the Power Shuttle system, along with data and different value readings for different sensors and pressure readings. You can choose to print this report or save to a file for later use. You can always go back to the DT analysis screen to ensure the unit was properly repaired.
And this concludes the diagnosis mode of the Power Shuttle systems.
Now we will be diagnosing the VCM. Choose Diagnosis, ETC System, and then the VCM icon. Once this screen loads, you will be taken to the DTC analysis screen, and here you will find any active and history codes within the VCM. To clear these codes, choose DTC Clear, meet your conditions. Once complete, OK. Now all DTCs should be cleared unless they remain active. The next screen is data analysis. In this screen, you will see important values and information regarding the VCM. You can choose to record this data during test driving. Once complete, you will just choose Record Stop and save the file for later use. Next, you will have the actuation test screen, which is not supported on the VCM. Followed by the system identification screen, where you will see important information regarding the VCM as the option and version and revision numbers. Next is the DTC report. Here you will again find information regarding the VCM and any codes that may be active or history along with their parameter readings. You will be able to print this screen or save to a file for later use. Next is data reporting. Here you will again find your VCM information along with history data of the VCM. You will again be able to print this screen or save to a file for later use.
And this concludes the diagnosis of the VCM.
So now we will be reprogramming the engine ECU. We will choose Reprogramming, and then here you will be prompted as to which system you want to reprogram. In this case, it will be the LS engine. Once in, you will be given your current software version listed at the top of the page. This is R09, so we are going to update to R10. To do that, we will go down to Add ROM. We will then find the R10 file and load it to the service tool. In this case, it is a MT5073 CMP R10. Once selected, Add ROM File Complete will be prompted. You will choose OK. You will now find the new file listed in the service tool. You will then select it and then choose the Reprogramming Start button. Once started, the progress screen will begin to load at the bottom of the page. Once completed, you will be prompted that the ECU update has been completed. You can then start and test the tractor. If you need to rewrite an ECU or program a blank ECU, you will need to create a one-time ID. To do this, you will click Make One-Time ID. You will then choose Read ECU Information, and this will populate a majority of the information that is already in the engine ECU. Next, you will need to add the unit serial number. You will then choose Make ID. You will then be given a long password. You will need to click the Copy Clipboard button. And this will save it to the clipboard in your PC. You will choose OK. You will then need to go to the One-Time ID website. The login password will be the same as your EVCI tool. Once you log in, you will go to the One-Time ID icon. This will bring you to a screen of your list of one-time IDs. You will then choose Request Password, and then you will paste the password given to you into this box. Make sure that your email address is accurate and put in the hours of the unit. You will then click Request, and you will be prompted that you were successful in the request. And then this will be processed by LS Tractor, and you will receive a password both in the email provided, and it will be updated in this list on the One-Time ID Password website. Once you receive your password, you will go back into the EVCI tool. You will back out of this screen. You will choose Check One-Time ID, and then you will enter in your password at the password screen. You will then choose Check. The password will be validated, and then you will be granted access to be able to program the ECU with the desired software package.
And this concludes the reprogramming section for the LS engine.